Cherenkov radiation in cooling tanks because it's surrounded by magnets, keeping in the particles moving faster than light. Real simple. Well, here we go. It's pretty simple. See the closed field lines? See the IMF pushing against us in the back? You can see that it's holding in the charge from the solar reaction, the nuclear reaction around us. We're getting fucking to the surface, making everything look blue. It isn't the horizon, it's everything under the horizon. It's from here to that house, from here to the fucking uh, mesas is turning blue. And a few years ago, when we started noticing it, it wasn't even every day, let alone this thick. But now it's really thick. It's getting thicker, and it's an everyday occurrence. Um, so is this now, and it wasn't. So it's correlating with the actual physics of the field, where there's magnets holding in the solar radiation and the fucking ions that are moving faster than the speed of light, which they refer to as Cherenkov radiation. You can see there's a magnetic push on our back. The charge buildup is stronger in the night side. That's why your moon looks foggy. You see those IMF lines behind us. That is not Earth's magnetic field. IMF, by definition, is not Earth's magnetic field. That's why it's blue, and it's showing up behind us, pushing all this radiation to the surface. That's just the way it is, as you can see clearly. Now, 3 years ago, when we started watching this, developing here, 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 and here, and all these fires. And yeah, they're real fires. The fucking globe's actually on fire in the winter. It's fire season, obviously. When we started watching these rotations and sustained storms that really haven't moved over the last 3 years, this is surface. That we were doing on the surface, and we'd have to go up to here to see where it is today. We're down on the surface now because the pressure is stronger now than when it was. It's that simple. And it's very evident in the evidence of 3 years of documenting this. So, no matter how many words somebody types or how many words somebody speaks against the evidence provided, they are obviously not providing their own evidence. They are just providing lip service and or type service against something that can actually be verified over time. Four Winds Unleashed is where I mentioned that it will get stronger a little bit every day over the period of a few years. We're here now, where we have sustained fucking surface winds that are fucking monitorable on this map, where they weren't 3 years ago. And I correctly said that they would do this because we live in a multiple sun system, and the magnets putting the pressure on the ionosphere are going to get closer and therefore cause more pressure and be more noticeable. Look at our clockwise rotation. You think that might be interfering with your compass? Looks like Earth's rotation is still right up here where it belongs. But your compass might be pointing more towards that one every year because it's been getting bigger and stronger every year. Amazing. I'd said it would. Am I a professional weatherman? Is it prophetic? No, it's common sense. I exchanged spittle with a legislator, Senator Jim Davis of North Carolina, Republican, of which I had authored the Davis Hemp Bill, forcing federal legalization of CBD hemp. And I exchanged spittle with him about the incoming sun that had tilted us and started making our moon roll. At that point in time, there was no Cherenkov radiation on deck because we didn't have that IMF line behind us, the magnet holding it in. But we were on our side in 2014 when I stood down, and they started detailing how safe my son would be in the bunker because 3/4 of the population was going to die. I started warning, time-stamped, about these times and what was going to happen. And that you can view from my page over here on my links to my Facebook page. And you can see we're in 2014. I've been warning since then. Yeah, obviously the signal isn't going to fucking cooperate. You can get there. They told me a very detailed plan on how they were going to fucking take us out. And guess what? I have given those details flawlessly, including the very day of lockdown, and then 2 weeks later, a grocery shortage that they wouldn't be able to explain if they didn't have the excuse in place. Now, have I ever said that that was the day of famine? No, I said that's a grocery store shortage they wouldn't be able to explain without an excuse in place. And then Wendy's couldn't sell beef. You couldn't buy fucking chicken wings, etc., etc. And now, today, it's a little bit more than the fucking what it was. There's food shortages of all sorts. They're out of things, they're limiting purchases, etc., etc. You know, I haven't been wrong yet. But this one guy over here keeps talking about how that ain't Cherenkov. The fires aren't real. The moon is supposed to be doing a cartwheel. We're just supposed to lay on our back, so it doesn't, even though it does when you lay on your back. The man can't even bring his own pictures time-stamped in the sky. He can't do that. But we've seen across the globe that indeed, from rise to set, our moon's doing a cartwheel, and it shouldn't be rolling from wax to wane every night. We set the calendar itself to it not doing that, and that's not going to change just because somebody puts up cheap words and maybe a picture or two of the moon that he's oriented the way he wants it to, laying on his back with a fucking camera. It's not the actual moon. It's insane. It's not even his pictures. He downloaded it from the internet. A picture of the damn moon, had it printed out. You can't take your own timestamp because the one time you did, you proved that it's fucking doing cartwheels. Dazza the cameraman did the same thing. The thing is doing a fucking rotation across the sky every night, and it shouldn't. And we've got Cherenkov radiation thicker and thicker a little bit every day where we shouldn't. And I showed you why. Can you tell me why it's not? Can you show me why it's not that? Because we've been monitoring it live, actively, for years. Not just on this page, on Homebrewed's page too. He's got plenty of electric haze and fucking Cherenkov radiation videos on his page. And I've posted a couple of them over here. These are, there you go. There's one. There's another. And that's John. That's a couple years ago where it's not as thick as it is today. And it's thicker today because the pressure's bigger on the planet. And that is, again, evident in null school. And the fact that we're on fire. You know, everybody's reporting how everything's hollow and burning from the inside. We've seen several videos and news reports and your own testimonies. Are cheap words going to tell you that your trees are not going hollow and dropping their branches and becoming fire? Because the rest of the world is noticing that.